Hey guys, what's up? Kevin aka Keyboard Chips aka Shadows of Zero here, and welcome to another special vid of mine that is based on DC once again. This time I want to talk about a topic that I would like to call about. I know it's already on the title, what you see here, but before I get into that, I want to explain to you guys what a hero is. I'm pretty sure all you know what a hero is. It's a person, someone special that will always protect you and always will save you from danger. Just somebody who will always fight for truth and justice. But in order for a hero to happen, to be made, they had to have a villain. They had to have this certain villain that needed to truly test the hero's strength, the hero's bravery, and the hero's skills. Like, I know this is going to sound upsetting, but without villains, there wouldn't be any heroes. We wouldn't have these very important people for us, for our protection. And throughout TV, movies, and comic books, like every great superhero had great supervillains. Like, Superman had great villains. Spider-Man had great villains. Like, every great superhero or every great hero needed a great supervillain / villain. And no villain has ever, like, touched my heart more than the villains in the Batman series. Like, Batman had the absolute best villains. Any villains that anyone can ask for. And this is why this topic is called My Top 10 Favorite Batman Villains. And I'm going to go through 10 through 1, obviously. Save the best for last. And why don't I start off with number 10 on my list here. Number 10 is Ra's al Ghul. This guy is the leader of the League of Assassins. He's lived for 600 years, maybe even more than that, due to the pool called the Lazarus Pit, which makes him immortal and makes him live longer and stays the exact same age. But unfortunately, every time he gets out of it, he goes batshit crazy, and the only way to snap him out of it is to hit him in the face. And he's not even like that. He's usually calm and sophisticated. But yeah, that's what the Lazarus Pit does to anybody who goes in it. And he has encounters with Batman a couple times. He's a very expert combatant, and he's very intelligent. And he's one of the very few villains who know who Batman really is. I guess a different version of it. And another version, I think he doesn't know who Batman really is. I think one time in the animated series, Ra's al Ghul went to the Batcave and Batman was like, "What are you doing here?" And all that. So yeah, Ra's al Ghul's very smart to get into the Batcave. But I don't think he knew who Batman was. I think he even said so. He just called him Detective. But yeah, besides the point. He also has a daughter named Talia al Ghul who has a love interest in Batman. And they had a son together, and they named him Damian Wayne, who is the new Robin right now. Ra's al Ghul is also, like, he always wanted to have a better world for everybody. He wants to create a new world, but all for all the wrong reasons. And he always wants Batman to take his place as the leader of the League of Assassins, but Batman, of course, refuses, and they always fight. And it's just, they had a really big history together. I think Ra's al Ghul is one of Batman's toughest enemies. And definitely interesting character. I'd like to see more of Ra's al Ghul, whether it be TV or comic books. So, yeah. Number 9 on my list is Killer Croc, a.k.a. Wallian Jones. He was pretty much born as a lizard-like freak, and everyone picked on him because of how he looked. And he wanted to prove people that he was special. And he did it by joining a professional wrestling. He became a professional wrestler and got money for it. Not much due to his asshole manager. And he was promised one time to be paid so much. but instead he get paid little, and Killer Croc had enough, killed the manager, and decided to go to the sewers to make it his new home. Plus, there was homeless people in the sewers as well, and they treat Killer Croc like a king. They call him King Croc. And Killer Croc and Batman had feuds a couple of times as well. Batman always comes up top, obviously, but Killer Croc is still on the hunt for his prey. And that's what makes him so interesting. I think he's a very interesting character. I like him a lot. Again, I hope I see him more, whether it be TV or comic books, so hooray to Killer Croc. Number 8 on my list here is Clayface, a.k.a. Basil Karlo. Before Basil Karlo was Clayface, he was a movie star. He had it all. He had it made. He was the biggest star in Gotham City at the time. But he also had a temper tantrum, and that cost him his job. And I forgot how he became Clayface, but obviously it's due to a freak accident. And ever since then, Clayface has been fighting Batman. And he can disguise himself as anybody he wants. And he's been very, hold on, I gotta go. Sorry about that. Tired, I woke up really late today. But yeah, anyway, back to Clayface. Clayface, he can disguise himself as anyone he wants, and he can actually take pain off very well because of the clay. It's so strong. It doesn't really feel that much pain. And he's actually pretty intelligent nowadays because, like, ever since Arkham City, when he disguised himself as Joker while the real Joker was really sick and been plotting this the entire time, it's just like, you can tell Clayface is such a serious character. He's taken very seriously in my eyes. And this comic book series I'm reading, it's called Batman Zero Year. Like, the last 2 or 3 issues, like, Clayface has been reading Batman's mind back and forth. And it just proves, this is why Clayface is on my list here. Very interesting character. I like Clayface a lot. Give him a pass. Alright, number 7 on my list is Harley Quinn, Joker's psychotic bitch girlfriend. Before she was Harley Quinn, all of you know, before she was Harley Quinn, she was Harleen Quinzel, a psychiatrist who was interviewing Arkham inmates. And then she interviewed the biggest one, the Joker, and Joker tells her his origin story, and she feels really bad for him for some reason, and she starts falling in love with him. And then she gets on new clothes, clown-like clothes, and she calls herself Harley Quinn, and she frees the Joker, and they've been causing havoc and chaos ever since, throughout all the years, and Batman always there to stop them. It's like a never-endless loop of Batman chasing Joker and Harley Quinn. And I kind of feel bad for Harley Quinn because Joker always abuses her in every sense of the way, but yet Harley Quinn still loves him. It's just, like, this is a character that you should absolutely love. I'm pretty sure everyone loves Harley Quinn, especially me. She's one of the most interesting characters I've ever seen in my life. She's one tough cookie, I can guarantee you that. She's one cuckoo cookie. So, yeah, definitely love Harley Quinn. Any person would say that Harley Quinn is one of the most popular characters of all time. So, yep, you go, girl. Alright, number 6 on my list here is Bane. Just Bane. He doesn't have a name. His name is unknown. It's just Bane. He's the guy who broke the bat, put Batman in the disabled list, and almost cost him his entire career. Until Batman decided to come back after recovery and defeat Bane. But again, Bane always comes back at his feet and always tries again to kill Batman once and for all. Now, Bane was always more brawn than brain, but nowadays he's showing a lot more brains as much as he does brawn, and that's a really big plus. I really like that a lot because I want Bane to be intelligent as he is strong, and he really is. That's why he's high on the list. definitely one of Batman's toughest enemies. He uses venom in his tubes to get himself bigger, to make himself stronger. That's why he's so big. And yeah, just such an interesting character. I would like to see him more, which we will see in the new comic book series Arkham War, which I'm definitely looking forward to. Can't wait to review that. So, definitely love Bane, and I'm pretty sure most people will agree with me. And yeah, Bane all the way. Alright, now we move on to the top 5. These are my absolute favorite Batman villains that made it to the top 5 list. And we start off with number 5 with TwoFace. Like, TwoFace, aka Harvey Dent, was Batman's former best friend when they were kids. That's what, at least what I remembered. And he always wanted to eliminate crime. He became a prosecutor at court. And but he always had like this bipolar attitude. Like there's one half of him that is calm and nice, and the other is just dark and angry. And he's always been obsessed with the number 2. Unfortunately, one time there was an explosion, and Harvey Dent was caught on it, and half of his body got third-degree burnt, and that's how Harvey Dent became Two-Face, the guy you see today. And he always had feuds with Batman. He's actually pretty strong because he has a lot of people on his side, a lot of mob people on his side. He's like one of the guys who like doesn't really need superpowers to take over a city. I mean, he had a lot of close opportunities to take over a city, but Batman always stops him, obviously. And the interesting thing about it is, like, he doesn't make the decisions. He lets the coin decide it, whether the person or people should be alive or dead. Like, heads, he keeps them alive. Tails, he kills them, or vice versa. It's just, I think that's some sort of code. If it is, then I really like it. That's very interesting of Two-Face. I always love Two-Face. Very, very interesting character. I like him a lot. Again, I want to see him more. So, definitely a villain you should guys check out. If you haven't yet, and why haven't you? He's been around for so long already. Alright, number 4 on my list is Scarecrow, a.k.a. Jonathan Crane. He was a doctor, and he wanted to show off his fear gas to everybody. He used it, and people have been seeing their biggest fears, their biggest nightmares. And Scarecrow became very infamous, and he even got Batman with fear gas a couple times. I think one time, like when I don't have the game, I never played the game, but in Arkham Asylum, like I've seen a clip before, Scarecrow actually mentioned Bruce Wayne to Batman, which I think he knows who Batman is, which is intriguing because all the other times he doesn't know who Batman is. So that's very bizarre, but intriguing. I liked it. And that's what makes Scarecrow one of Batman's feared enemies, his toughest enemies. And, yeah, just very scary. Just the name Scarecrow and the appearance is just scary. So, yeah, definite pass for Scarecrow. Absolutely love the guy. Once again, I want to see him more. Number 3 on my list is Riddler. First of all, green is my favorite color. That's why he's so high up in the list. Another reason why being is that Mr. Edward Nygma always loved to play games. He just loves to show off his ability to be smart. He wants to show off his intelligence to the world. But people weren't interested, so he wanted to get revenge on them by giving them riddles. That's why, thus the name Riddler. He gives riddles. And the person he wants to test his riddles out more is Batman. But Batman, being the smartest person ever, just figures out every single riddle that Riddler throws at him. And Riddler's very mad at that because he thinks he's the smartest person in the world. I think he has this obsession compulsive disorder. He doesn't believe that he's insane. That he thinks that he is smart and intelligent and he is sane. But, yeah, a very, very great villain. Every villain that should be mentioned in the top villains of all time should be the Riddler. Very interesting character. Love the guy. Once again, for like the 7th time or the 8th time, I want to see him more in TV or comic books or anything. Love the Riddler. Absolutely one of my favorite people as a childhood. And just an amazing villain. Excellent villain. Definitely one of Batman's absolute best. In my eyes. Alright, now we move on to number 2. Is, surprisingly, this is going to be a big shock. Number 2 is the Joker. Yes, the Joker is not number 1. And I'll explain why. I'll reveal number 1 very soon after I'm done with this here. But back to Joker. Just, the name itself, Joker. No introductions needed. Just Joker. The pretty much the best villain of all time. Like, you put up, he's pretty much the poster boy of all villains alike. Doesn't matter what villain you throw at, it's not going to be as huge as Joker. Just Joker, like, after all these years he's been around, we still don't know who his name is. I mean, there has been an origin story of him, but we don't know his name at all. But, yeah, Batman and him, they go way back. They just keep on fighting back and forth, and never end this loop. And it's just like, even though Joker is trying to kill Batman, it's like he even admitted he can't live without Batman because he's the only one that really completes his life. It's the only thing that he has. And if Batman's gone, Joker will have no purpose in the world anymore. Which is very bizarre and psychotic, obviously, because he's a Joker. Because he's trying to kill him. Like, problem much? But, just, absolutely love the Joker. Everybody loves the Joker, obviously. Just the name Joker alone just makes people cheer. And just an absolute, positively outstanding, phenomenal villain. Someone that you love to hate and that you hate to love. Excellent, excellent villain. You can't ask for anything else. So, Joker fans. Everyone's a Joker fan. He always puts a smile in our faces. And number 1 on my list, you're thinking, why, Kevin, why wasn't Joker your number 1? Everyone else put Joker as number 1. Well, that's true. But, hey, Joker is a very close second. Very, very close. This is very close. But this one particular villain really got close to my heart. In fact, to better terms, froze my heart because number 1 on my list of my favorite DC or Batman villains is Mr. Freeze. Now, ever since I first saw him for the first time in my life as a child, I knew for a fact that this guy was going to be something huge and someone I was going to love very, very much. And Mr. Freeze was definitely that guy. Like if I had to choose, I'm not quite sure, the ability to ice and to freeze things is one of my top 3 favorite powers to have. If there was only, it's just, this guy is so amazing. This is such a great villain. Mr. Victor Freeze has always been an icon of villains, in my perspective and opinion. He always had this obsession with his wife Nora Freeze because she was the only one who meant everything to him, and they had such a great time together. But unfortunately, Nora Freeze got sick. She had a disease, and Victor decided to freeze her in a rejuvenation chamber until he found a cure. But unfortunately, this jerk named Falcone wanted him to shut down his lab, and Victor refused, and Falcone pushed Victor, and he got caught in one of the rejuvenation chamber and just froze there. But then he was released, and his whole body was completely in sub-zero temperature, and he became Mr. Freeze, and wanted revenge on Falcone, and always had fights with Batman. But sometimes Batman and Mr. Freeze work together, which is very nice. That's what one of my most favorite things about Mr. Freeze. That he's still trying to rescue his wife, Nora. And he still loves her. And he always tries to do the right thing, but it never works. And, yeah, it's just that I can't help but to feel bad for him, because maybe he wouldn't be like this if he didn't get pushed by Falcone. But, yeah, I mean, I just love Mr. Freeze. He's always been my favorite Batman villain since day one. He still is to this day. Absolutely love Mr. Freeze. And I hope one day that he'll be back to normal. He won't be as insane as he is anymore. Maybe he'll turn out for the better, but probably not. He'll always be a villain, obviously. But, well, here's hoping. But still, regardless, I love Mr. Freeze so much. Such an amazing, outstanding, like, everything that's good. Everything that makes a good villain is right here in this character. Just love Mr. Freeze so much. But, yeah. Alright, well, I'm coming out of breath here. I was talking so much. But, that's it for my top villains. If you have any different opinions, comment below on the vid and what your favorite villains are for Batman. Or instead, you can comment or PM me on your thoughts and opinions. I'll be gladly to talk with you about it. Just comment below on what your thoughts on my list. I mean, either way, comment on the video or comment my channel or PM me. Doesn't matter. But guys, thank you very much for watching. It's been a long road, but coming up next is 900 video. It's time. It's that time. So, whenever 900 video will come, it will come. It will be right there, and I hope you guys will enjoy it. And I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed my opinion on my list of my favorite DC villains. Get ready for more videos to come. But right now, I have to do 900. But until then, thank you guys so much for watching. Love every single one of you. You're the reason why I'm here, why I'm back. And, you know, I'll explain that in the 900 video, because 900 video is coming up next. See you guys there. Take care, guys. Bye.